House Bill 64 by Representative Stagni, Title 40, Dangerous Chemical Substances, Elements of Unlawful Inhalation, Ingestion, Use, Possession of Certain Substances, Provide for Exceptions, Penalties, Enforcement.
Rep. Stagni on your bill.
And Mr. Speaker and members, Representative Stagni, on behalf of the Bureau, Representative Horton sends up technical amendments.
Without objection. Rep. Stagni on your bill.
The amendments are just technical. I'd ask for your adoption.
We've adopted them.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Nitrous oxide inhalation is a growing crisis, not only in our state, but in this country. It is only second to recreational marijuana use. The problem is it's highly addictive and it's highly deadly. And it's more commonly known as laughing gas, but it's no laughing matter. If any of you watched Fox 8 leading up to the new year, they ran a series on the growing crisis we're having with people inhaling this substance and having sometimes permanent damage, sometimes death, and a long road ahead of them. Both Representative Villio and myself were approached by different entities to try to carry a bill to address this matter, and we've done that with this bill, one of the more aggressive bills in the country, because it's needed. I will tell you that when we filed the bill, that I was walking back to the Pentagon, and one of our consultants, I saw him, and he was filled. He said, "I'm so glad you and Debbie brought this bill." And he was very upset, and he said, "We found my best friend dead with a large canister in his hand." And so there comes a time when we can all get together away from the partisan politics, and to get together behind something that's so strong that we can go after those people who want to profit off the health and welfare, or injuring the health and welfare of our citizens. So this bill, there was already something in place, but this bill would ban the manufacturing and sale and use within our state. We would bring in ATC to help enforcement, along with state police and local law enforcement. We've increased the fines 400%, put jail time in, and thanks to Representative Villio, we've made a felony out of the crime. We also offer drug court. So I would ask you all to support the bill. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Rep. Horton for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative Stagni, for bringing this bill. I had not heard of this until you brought it to committee. Can you tell us, is this regulated? Can anyone buy it? Or how do our kids go about buying something like this?
Dentists and medical personnel have to get a special permit to administer this, but you can order it on Amazon and they'll deliver it to your front door. Under a loophole in the previous law, and the loophole is if you're using it to make a food product, whipped cream. And so in the bill, you'll see where we changed manufacturing to manufacturer. So we'll have the teeth and we'll have the means to start going after, and in my view, more the retailer and the manufacturer as opposed to the user.
So is this regulated at all?
When you say regulated,
I mean, can the person that was found dead was like 39 years old, who I thought he said did he purchase it from Home Depot or somewhere? Or
no, he ordered it off of Amazon to deliver business. It's not regulated.
Right.
To the nitrous that the doctors get is highly regulated, and they're taught how to administer it with oxygen. The user out there that unfortunately becomes addicted to it wants it more and more and more, to the point where they're inhaling the oxygen, the nitrous directly without oxygen, and it doesn't take very much at all, and it will kill you.
Can you show can you please show the members how large the cans are?
Well, originally they started with little whippets, little silver whippets, and if you see anybody cleaning up after a concert or a festival, you'll see those things everywhere. I didn't know what they were.
Either.
But these manufacturers have gotten so emboldened that now they take a canister about this big a whippet, you may have 70 servings of whipped cream off of that.
Right.
With this type of canister, it's 22,000. They've made it all colorful and very enticing to our people, but they're deadly consequences.
Well, thank you so much for bringing it. I'm just so happy that you did, and our parents, and really, it has nothing to do with just children. It crosses all party lines, all age groups. Doesn't matter what your income level is. People from all across the globe are dying of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rep. Taylor for a question.
I don't have a question there. I'd just like to thank you for bringing this statute, and I will support it.
Thank you.
Rep. Jordan for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Over here, Joe.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Rep. Stagni, I'm just trying to find out, other than the medical uses and the use of whipped cream, are there any other legitimate uses for this gas?
Yeah, those who are car enthusiasts, they use nitrous oxide, and so we've put an exemption in for car use. And the nitrous is a little different. They put sulfur in that nitrous so that if there is a leak, you're going to smell it. Okay. I'm trying to think of what other exemptions we had in there. Right off the top of my head, medical, automobile, and the actual manufacturing of food products.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Representative Robbie Carter for a question.
Representative Stagni, what happens if you get too much nitrous oxide?
Well, if you get too much, you're going to die. If it's not mixed with oxygen, and I guess the more scientific answer would be that this hits two spots. It hogs the alveoli, which is where you get oxygen into your lungs. It attaches to opioid receptor, and what happens is it depletes your B12 production, which the nerves in your body have a myelin sheath, and it puts holes in that. The myelin sheath lets the nerve impulses go smoothly. If you see somebody with multiple sclerosis, they have a very difficult time. They're ataxic, they can't move very well. The person who is abusing nitrous oxide is going to look the same way, to the point where they do it so much that they don't even get out of their bed.
Is it addictive?
Very highly addicted. We all talk about the opioid crisis. These are the receptors that this stuff works on. But we have an opportunity to stamp it out.
Have any other states passed this type law?
They have several states. Some of them have done it age-related. When Rep. Villio and myself and Mr. Gonzalez, look, the person that our friend knew was 39 or 40 years old. So some states have put it 21 and under. But it doesn't matter how old you are. Once you become addicted and you abuse it, there's a likelihood that you're either going to die or you're going to become paralyzed to the point where you can't return to normal function again.
How expensive is it?
It's not expensive at all. So that's the two reasons why people get hooked on it. It's very easy access, and it's not expensive. For one of those canisters, those things can go anywhere from $9.99 to $50, $60, $70, $100. But they're so addictive, they will spend $2,000 a month inhaling this stuff.
Well, this is a pretty good markup for doctors because I think my dentist charges about $200 to administer it.
Yeah. But he knows how to administer it, I promise you.
Thank you.
Rep. Orgeon for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rep. Stagni, we already covered the medical dentist exception. You covered the automobile that has an odorant in it for automobiles, same way as natural gas in your home, I would imagine. You talked about manufacturing. How about like chefs that use it to make in restaurant or home chefs that were using it to make whipping cream?
I will tell you that there is an exemption in there for restaurants, but Fox 8 News did a really good news story on this where the chef said there's no chef worth their salt that's going to put a strawberry nitrous in a product as opposed to real strawberries. And so he wasn't able to make it there to testify, but you know, again, we all know what they're doing. They're selling it to people for inhalation purposes and not necessarily for food preparation.
I was unaware of the large bottles that are being sold. That you said had like 22,000 applications in it. I totally understand the prohibition on that one. I'm just worried about home chefs that do use whipping cream for, you know, homemade whipping cream, and if for that, they would be prohibited from buying it from now on.
No, they can buy it for their purposes, but I will tell you, I ran this by the LRA, and they are in support. At first, they had some members that were coffee makers, and for the whipped cream, they did use the little, but listen, people are getting away from that. Even dentists are getting away. There's other anesthetics that they're starting to use more than the nitrous now.
Right, and lastly, you mentioned how addictive it was. Anytime anybody talks about addiction and the addictiveness of a particular substance, my mind always immediately goes to, is it physically addictive or is it psychologically addictive? Meaning you enjoy it, you want more, you call that addictive, versus physically addictive whenever you actually, upon coming off of it or being deprived of it, you actually have physical abnormalities and withdrawals and deuterium tremors and things like that. Do you believe nitrous oxide is physically addictive?
Well, listen, it's not what I believe. The evolving science says that it's both physically and emotionally addictive. Highly physically addictive. If you go to a concert in the New Orleans area or you go down there for Mardi Gras, you'll see some vendors of this stuff giving it free, letting you inhale it through a balloon, and they don't realize that they are addicted after that, and they're going to have a problem, and it's hard to get rid of. So it's both physically and emotionally addictive.
Thank you very much for answering the questions.
Thank you, Rep.
Rep. Stagni, you have a right to close.
I waive.
Rep. Stagni moves for final passage of the bill. As many of you in favor vote yea, those opposed vote nay. The clerk will open the machine. Members, please vote your machines. Members, please vote your machine. Green, yea. Lacombe, yea. Guyman, yea. Members, are you through voting? Members, are you through voting? Miller, yea. Clerk will close the machine. We have 104 yeas and 0 nays, and the bill finally passes. Representative Stagni moves to adopt the title and moves to reconsider the vote, which the bill finally passed, and lay that motion on the table without objection, so ordered. Madam Clerk, will you open the machine for co-authors? Members, vote your machine for co-authors. The clerk will close the machine. We have 36 co-authors.